Hello, my name is Diana, and this is the survey information about my research project. The survey recap is part of a research project where I study if music influences in political spaces, how it does it, and well, the questions I created for this was with the objective to understand, raise awareness, and create opinions and make people reflect how this problem works. The responses of this presentation will only be used for academic purposes. The first question is, which genre of music do people listen to the most? The most voted was reggaeton, then there's pop, there's electronic music, and then the other options which were less voted is rap, trap, hip hop, and rock. Then, next question, how often do people listen to music? Well, we have 86% listen to music every single day, and 13%, which is what's left, listen to music more than 3 times a week. There were actually more options, which were like once a week, but we can see that people actually listen to music a lot in their daily life. Now, next question, have you ever heard songs that talk about social issues? People voted that yes, 93%. I think there was one answer who did not. And then in the same slide we have, do you believe that political music has influenced your opinions? No is the most voted option, I haven't noticed, and yes. Now that we understand which genres of music people listen to, how much they listen to music, and if they know that there's an influence of music in them, the next question is, which topics have you heard about in music? So we can understand, like, from the music they listen to constantly, what are they listening to? Like, understand what are they getting from the music they hear. So the topics are mental health, gender equality, justice, violence, and racism, which we can tell they are pretty high because this was a multiple option question. They could answer as many as they have heard. They are almost all higher than 6 times. Now this slide is made of statements that people agree with. The following statements are, music can influence people's political opinion. Well, 28% voted that music does influence you. 57% music can raise awareness but rarely change opinion. They don't agree that music can always change your opinion. And 14% music is mostly entertainment and does not affect political view. So practically nearly 71% does not feel like music has that much influence in them. But then we have the next question, which is, if an artist supported a political cause, would you support it too or learn more about it? And 42% voted that definitely yes, so it's kind of contradictory. I feel like people do not realize the influence music has on them until you talk to them about something they like, which would be an artist. 42% maybe, and 14% no, which, I mean, at the end there's people who are completely sure about their opinions. How do you think music can contribute to social or political change? Well, this was an open question, but at the end I feel like it is also important to share what I believe personally. I think music influences people not only with what is said, but with instruments, the time it is played on, where do you hear it, who sings it, who hears it, and why songs are made, because there's millions of songs and millions of meanings, as well as there are millions of people going out in the world and millions of things happening. So I think people do not realize but they also do, how much impact music has. I feel like this is something about ignorance, and that it needs to be talked more.